Guys, welcome to today's video. How to prepare for an economic collapse. Is one coming? Look, I believe it is. We saw in 2007, 2008, the financial crisis. You know, we've been in a recession ever since. Not officially a recession, but you know, we've been under very, very strange situations since. Quantitative easing, low interest rate, in some cases negative interest rates, which basically has led to a very artificial situation. The S&P 500, it's very high right now. It's just started to come off. The FTSE, all of the major markets have been trading on cheap money, and the markets are up and they're high, high, high. Let me tell you, there's nothing higher than they are at the moment, ready for the next adjustment. But not just an adjustment, it could be a 60% correction, which is massive if you're sat in a stock portfolio and got all your money tied up. The beauty for us as Forex traders is that our fund is more often than not 95.4% in cash, and actually can be liquidated wholly into cash by the flick of a switch at any point in time. And I think that is one of the beauties of trading the foreign exchange market. They're not long-term positions, it's very liquid, it's $1 trillion a day going through that market, and you can be in and out of positions very quickly and back in cash when you need to be. Right here, right now, on cable, on euro, we're sat in cash. We don't want to be in those positions. They're ugly, very, very ugly because of the Brexit situation, and who knows what's going to happen from that. So we talk about bubbles, you know, 2007, 2008, it was the subprime housing bubble, and people are saying, what's the next bubble going to be? Look, for me, it's that cheap money that's fueling, particularly US companies, to record profits and therefore record highs in their share price. It's a bullshit situation because interest rates are now starting to rise and it's eroding that bottom line. This to me is the next bubble. It's not subprime, it's not a retail thing, it's a corporate thing. And I think that bubble will burst, and I think has already started to. If you look at the phases of a bubble, it very often starts like this, and it peaks and it comes off, and it will peak again, or maybe not quite, and then you'll see a massive correction. I think right here, right now, we're probably about here. Okay, we've seen this, and we're about to do that. How do you profit from that? Look, very easily. The beauty of what we do as traders is that we can trade both long positions as the market's going up, but we can also trade positions that are coming off, or in other words, going short. So we can sell out of a market that's falling and still make profits. That's true for stocks and shares, it's also true for foreign exchange. So how do you prepare for that? Anticipation, yeah? Do the research like we do. We subscribe, paid for subscriptions, okay? You don't get anything for free in this life. I believe in that. You can go onto Google, you can do a search for something. If you're not paying for that research from a reliable source, as far as I'm concerned, you're wasting your time and you're putting yourself on the precipice without really having the knowledge to do so. Study that research and see where you're at on the cycle, see where you are in your portfolio or in your trading, and see how you can best take advantage of that. So anticipation through research and planning is very, very key in this. Now, I always say, you know, if you're at the top of the market, now we never know when we're at the top of the market, because if we could call the tops and the bottoms, we'd be super, super, super rich, right? But when you see something like that, they scale out of it, okay? Especially when you see something like this coming off and back up again, you know, maybe you've made a bit of profit there, but start to scale out of your position. Get back into cash. Our trading strategy, we're 95% in cash, 95.4 to be precise, in cash at any one point in time. So we can take advantage of these situations and see these sell-offs. Bitcoin has come off since yesterday from 2 days ago from $6,300 to $4,300. We took a short position 2 days ago to make sure that we took advantage of exactly that bubble that has done exactly this. How many of you can agree? Bitcoin went from here to here, down and up and down, and is still going down, and I think it's going to continue going down, and I'm not sure that Bitcoin has a future. Blockchain technology definitely does. And I think it's some of the other currencies that will take over from Bitcoin as we move forward. You know, Bitcoin was a very early product, and a lot of people were early adopters in Bitcoin, and it's created a bubble, and we've seen that's a typical bubble pattern. Same with the stock market. That graph can be overlaid on cryptocurrencies, on stock exchanges around the world. It's a very typical bubble pattern. So cash in some of your profits. People talk about, where do I go? You can sit in cash. Look, you don't want to sit in cash for too long, because inflation at this point in time is going to erode your money, especially if it's sat in the bank, because you are not earning more interest in the bank than inflation is costing you. Okay, so we always say there's three hands in your pocket, right? Inflation, your own, and the tax man. So you've got to cover all those things. Do your tax planning. Make sure you're not spending unnecessarily, and make sure you're investing so that you're combating the inflationary erosion all the time. Hope that makes sense. One of the things we always say to people in this kind of scenario is avoid major investment decisions, because we just don't know. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread it around. Okay, you've got plenty of options: gold, silver, so in other words, commodities, the foreign exchange market, the equities market, property, cryptocurrencies. There are always plenty of opportunities out there. So spread your risk around. Don't make a major investment decision into one thing and put all your eggs into one basket. And the final thing that I would recommend in a situation like this, getting ready to make the most of an economic collapse, and believe me, it is coming. Okay, we cannot continue as a global economy by just continuing to raise debt ceilings. The US have done this and done this and done this, and you've seen over the last 3 years where the whole government's had to shut down until they can agree an increase in that debt ceiling. How can you continue running like that? As a business, you would be shut down because the banks would no longer lend to you. You know, too big to fail. Sometime it's going to have to fail, and it will come eventually. So be ready for it. One of the things we recommend is have a mentor. Work with somebody who's been there, done that, been through these bubbles, worked through it, made money through it, and has got some interesting and tangible ideas and experience to share with you. So we can help you there. Make sure you click on the link below, subscribe to our videos on YouTube so that you can see what we're doing as we come nearer and nearer to this bubble finally bursting. Okay, we'd also like to invite you to Coffee with Steph. This is a forum of like-minded individuals that are going to share ideas and get their questions answered. We're going to be part of that group. We're going to share with you what we're doing, how we're making money, 50% return this year alone on a growing investment fund, a massively growing investment fund. We're going to share with you some of our trading opportunities. We're going to share with you some of the economic, high-impact economic data that you need to be careful of. So if you want to be part of a like-minded group, I always say to people, if you want to be good at something, join a group where you're the dumbest person in the room. There are no stupid questions. Jump in, click on the link below, sign up. We'll help you get to where you want to be in record time. Thanks for watching.